Have you ever wondered how a small Southeast Asian nation like Malaysia keeps the world running? Can a single country really hold the power to feed millions, energize industries, and even fuel the world's most advanced technologies? And here's the biggest question of all: what would happen if Malaysia suddenly disappeared from global trade? The truth is, Malaysia is not just about breathtaking islands, diverse culture, or the Petronas Twin Towers. It is a country that sits quietly at the heart of global survival. Many nations, big and small, depend on Malaysia in ways most people don't even realize. From the food that ends up on dinner tables, to the medical gloves used in hospitals, to the microchips inside your smartphone, Malaysia is the invisible force behind them all. For countries like India, Malaysia is the lifeline for cooking oil. For Japan and South Korea, Malaysia keeps the lights on with liquefied natural gas. For the United States and China, Malaysia provides the semiconductors and electronics that power their tech empires. Even Singapore, one of the richest countries in the world, cannot survive without Malaysian water and food supplies. This isn't just about economics, it's about existence. Without Malaysia, the cost of living would skyrocket in some countries, industries would collapse, and millions of people would face shortages in everyday essentials. That's how deeply Malaysia is woven into the fabric of global survival. In this video, we're going to reveal the 10 countries that depend on Malaysia for survival. Some will surprise you, and others you may expect, but what you'll definitely see is how Malaysia has become one of the most important players in today's interconnected world. Number 1. Singapore. This one might be the most obvious. Singapore is a small but wealthy nation that depends on Malaysia for water, food, energy, and trade routes. In fact, under a historic agreement, Malaysia supplies a large portion of Singapore's fresh water. Without it, Singapore would struggle to meet its population's needs. Additionally, a significant share of Singapore's food imports come from Malaysia, including poultry, vegetables, and fruits. Malaysia also supplies Singapore with electricity and raw materials for its industries. It's fair to say that Singapore's survival and daily life are deeply tied to Malaysia. Number 2. South Korea. South Korea is another advanced economy that lacks natural resources. Like Japan, it relies heavily on Malaysian LNG to fuel its power plants and industries. Without these imports, South Korea would face rising energy costs and shortages. Malaysia also exports semiconductor components, rubber, and palm oil to South Korea. Given South Korea's reliance on tech manufacturing, from Samsung smartphones to Hyundai vehicles, Malaysia's contribution keeps South Korea's global export strong. Number 3. China. China, the world's manufacturing giant, relies heavily on Malaysia for raw materials and high-tech components. One of the biggest dependencies comes from electrical and electronic exports, as Malaysia is one of the world's largest semiconductor producers. Chinese smartphone makers, car manufacturers, and electronic companies depend on these Malaysian-made chips to keep their industries running. Moreover, China is also one of the largest buyers of Malaysian palm oil, which is used in food, cooking, cosmetics, and biofuels. Without Malaysia, China would face serious supply gaps that could disrupt its massive industrial machine. In fact, Malaysia and China maintain strong economic ties, and China remains Malaysia's number 1 trading partner. Number 4. Vietnam. Vietnam's booming economy, powered by manufacturing and exports, relies on Malaysia in many hidden ways. One of the biggest areas is energy. Malaysia supplies petroleum and gas that Vietnam uses to fuel its industries, transport, and electricity needs. Without these imports, Vietnam would face severe energy gaps that could slow its industrial growth. Another crucial link is in electronics and machinery. Vietnamese factories, especially in electronics, use Malaysian components to assemble products like smartphones, laptops, and household appliances. Malaysia's role as a semiconductor hub directly supports Vietnam's export-driven economy. Food security is another area where Malaysia plays a role. Palm oil from Malaysia is widely used in Vietnam's cooking and food processing industry, from instant noodles to baked goods. For a country with a population of nearly 100 million, Malaysia helps keep food affordable and accessible. Number 5. Japan. Japan, a highly developed but resource-scarce nation, depends on Malaysia for both energy and technology. Malaysia is a key supplier of LNG to Japan, powering homes, industries, and transportation. Given that Japan imports more than 90% of its energy, Malaysia's role is critical in ensuring Japan doesn't face energy blackouts. Additionally, Malaysia exports electronic components and industrial parts to Japan, supporting its automotive and electronics industries. For a country like Japan, which thrives on advanced technology but lacks natural resources, Malaysia's role is absolutely vital. Number 6. Indonesia. Even though Indonesia and Malaysia are competitors in palm oil production, Indonesia still depends on Malaysia in several areas. Malaysia's advanced refining industry and global distribution network help stabilize palm oil markets, which benefits Indonesia too. Moreover, Indonesia imports manufactured goods, machinery, and electronic components from Malaysia. The two countries also cooperate in trade, tourism, and cross-border investments. While they are neighbors and sometimes rivals, Indonesia still leans on Malaysia to maintain economic stability. Number 7. United States. Surprised? You shouldn't be. The United States depends on Malaysia for semiconductors, the brains behind modern electronics. Many American companies, from Apple to Intel, rely on Malaysian semiconductor packaging and testing plants. Without Malaysia's contributions, the U.S. tech industry would struggle to keep up with demand. On top of that, Malaysia supplies the U.S. with rubber and palm oil. Think about medical gloves. Malaysia is the world's leading exporter, and during the pandemic, the U.S. depended heavily on Malaysia to meet healthcare needs. This shows just how much America's survival in critical times ties back to Malaysia. Number 8. Philippines. The Philippines, an archipelago with over 110 million people, depends on Malaysia more than many realize. First and foremost is food security. Malaysia is one of the Philippines' main suppliers of palm oil, which is used in cooking, processed foods, and even biofuels. Without Malaysian imports, food prices in the Philippines would rise sharply. Malaysia also provides construction materials, steel, and machinery that fuel the Philippines' rapid urban growth. As Metro Manila and other cities expand, Malaysian imports are helping build infrastructure, transport systems, and industries. Even in healthcare, Malaysia plays a big role. The Philippines imports medical supplies and rubber products from Malaysia, essential for hospitals and clinics. Beyond trade, Malaysia's role in regional security, especially in Mindanao, adds another layer of dependence, as peace and stability in the south are closely tied to Malaysia's cooperation. Number 9. Thailand. Thailand and Malaysia share not just a border, but also deep economic interdependence. Thailand relies on Malaysia for energy supplies, including crude oil and petroleum products that power its industries and transport networks. This makes Malaysia a critical energy partner for Thailand's growing economy. Malaysia is also a major supplier of palm oil, which supports Thailand's food processing sector and consumer market. From cooking oils to packaged goods, Malaysian exports are part of everyday Thai life. Beyond food and energy, Thailand imports industrial machinery, chemicals, and electronics from Malaysia to support its strong automotive and electronics manufacturing sectors. Without Malaysian components, Thailand's status as one of Asia's top car exporters would take a serious hit. Number 10. United Arab Emirates. The UAE, despite its oil wealth, depends on Malaysia for food imports and trade networks. Malaysia supplies the UAE with palm oil, processed foods, and halal-certified products that meet the needs of its growing expatriate population. Moreover, the UAE imports electrical and electronic goods from Malaysia, supporting its construction, transportation, and technology industries. For a desert nation that imports 90% of its food, Malaysia plays an important role in ensuring food security and industrial supply chains. As we've seen, Malaysia is far more than just a small country in Southeast Asia. It is a global lifeline. From powering homes in Japan and South Korea with LNG, to feeding India and Bangladesh with palm oil, to supporting the tech industries of the US and China with semiconductors, Malaysia plays an indispensable role in global survival. What's truly fascinating is how diverse this dependency is. Some countries need Malaysia for food, some for energy, and others for technology. Yet the common thread is clear: Malaysia is a backbone for survival in our interconnected world. So the next time you think about Malaysia, remember, it's not just about beautiful beaches or Kuala Lumpur's skyline. It's about a country that quietly supports billions of people across the world. That's the real power of Malaysia.